Qualified, professional, and compassionate doctors talking real solutions to real health problems.
Hundreds of millions of children around the world are dying from vaccine-preventable diseases such as pneumonias, diarrheas, and tetanus. Many of these diseases can be prevented by vaccination or immunization, which has been proved to be the most cost-effective method in averting these diseases. With me in studio are vaccine experts, Dr. Ampaire Immaculate from the Uganda National Expanded Program for Immunization, and Dr. Atuhebwe Fiona, a vaccinologist by training, who are going to demystify for us the concept of immunization. You're welcome to the show, doctors. And I am your host for the evening, Dr. Darius Owachi. You are most welcome to the show. So I'll start off with Dr. Fiona. You are a renowned vaccinologist in your career. Help us understand what immunization is, since today's topic is on immunization. Could you help us explain to the public what is this process called immunization?
Thank you very much, Darius. So immunization is the introduction of a vaccine into the body, which could be through the mouth or using an injection, so as to build the body's immunity against a particular disease, whereby immunity is the body's ability to fight a disease using the body's army.
So the vaccines help in increasing the body's defense against diseases. Sure. So Dr. Immaculate, in understanding a vaccine, what exactly is a vaccine?
Yeah, vaccine is, I would call it a drug or a health intervention, like what we already know, pharmaceutical products. But in this sense of immunization, there are substances made that resemble the targeted germ or disease that will, when introduced into the body, they will stimulate the body to produce antibodies or protective cells against that particular germ you have introduced in form of a vaccine. Okay, so you're trying to explain they will resemble the germ which causes the disease. When you inject the vaccine, yes, say the measles vaccine, the body will respond in a way like they have received the measles infection. So the body will mount a response similar to a natural disease and produce those protective cells which will be kept in the body's memory. So that in the future, when this body is challenged with a natural disease, the body can mount that response similar to natural infection and therefore prevent that disease, or you may just manifest with a mild form of that very illness. Okay. Yes. So that is the benefit. It's clearly really a cost-effective method. If you introduce a bug which is weakened or just a small particle of the bug, and you can induce the body's immune system, it will protect the person from getting the disease. So immunization refers to the protection given by the vaccine, yes, while vaccination is the process of giving the vaccine itself. Yes. Okay, so I think many of you will recall in your science studies in the past, we used to immunize against the 6 killer diseases. That's polio, diphtheria, tetanus, tuberculosis, whooping cough, and measles. So in the past, these were called the 6 killer diseases in children. However, times have changed. We've come a long way from those 6 killer diseases, and we've had several diseases which have been vaccinated against in the population. Dr. Fiona, could you help us understand how far we have come in this immunization program of Uganda? From those 6 killer diseases, how many diseases are we vaccinating now?
Right now we are happy to be vaccinating against 13 diseases in Uganda. 13 diseases? 13 diseases. Okay. In 1983, so you know in Uganda we are used to saying 1986, but in 1983 we introduced the Uganda National Expanded Program on Immunization started, and that's when we were vaccinating against just the 6 diseases. That was diphtheria, tetanus, polio, whooping cough, measles, and tuberculosis. Then in 2002, we added 2 extra, we call them antigens, so 2 extra vaccines, which were against hepatitis B and the Haemophilus influenza, which virus, which can cause meningitis,
severe,
can
yes,
cause
cough and respiratory tract infections.
Yes, so we added those 2. But because we did not want to have a burden of injections, these 2 were added together to make with other 3 antigens, with other 3 vaccines, to make what we call a pentavalent vaccine, 5 in 1.
It is a 5-in-1 vaccine.
Yes, so we have diphtheria,
yes,
we have the one for whooping cough, and the one for tetanus together with hepatitis B
and influenza.
And influenza.
And these vaccines are available for
they are free
infants.
And they are given to infants.
Okay.
And we shall look at the schedule later.
Okay.
So that means, and I want to emphasize this, that in 2002, Uganda introduced, most important, hepatitis B vaccination in its schedule. Because we are getting people, especially private facilities, asking children to be vaccinated with hepatitis B in schools and pay for it. But
Yet
all children who are born
vaccinated.
from 2002 till today have received their 3 doses, if they have been vaccinated, have received their 3 doses of hepatitis B. You will not see it on your card, but it is in the pentavalent vaccine.
Okay, so that's a very important point to note. So from 2002, all children who are
16
born
and below
should be 16 years or
yes,
so. They automatically have received hepatitis B.
If they went for vaccination.
Okay.
Because it was not given as a standalone at that time in Uganda. We had it as a 5-in-1.
To be precise, that was June 2002.
It was in June 2002.
Yeah. For parents who are not sure, maybe they can take 3. Yes. But it was June 2002.
Okay.
All children born after June 2002.
Yes. So after 2002, are there any other vaccines, Dr. Immaculate, which have been introduced?
We launched the introduction of the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. Many people, parents call it vaccination against pneumonia.
Okay.
But it's targeting or PCV.
We can also call it the pneumonia vaccine.
Yeah,
for
but
people
it's targeting
to
an organism that causes also meningitis, other skin infections, and of course pneumonia. So
that was introduced in 2013.
Then in 2015 November, we also launched introduction of vaccination against cancer of the cervix with the human papillomavirus vaccine for girls aged 10 years, countrywide.
Countrywide.
Yes.
And these vaccines are all free and available in the National Immunization Program.
They are Government of Uganda vaccines, and they are found in all public and some selected private facilities.
Yes, and in 2018 also, just recently in June, we introduced the rotavirus vaccine, which is a vaccine against diarrhea in children, because diarrhea is one of the leading causes of deaths among children.
Okay, so thank you for demystifying this, for taking us through the history of immunization in Uganda. From the time a child is born, how many vaccines are they going to receive? At what time periods will they receive it?
Okay, so from birth, because we give the first vaccine at birth, there's those diseases that we don't want the child to even ever get in touch with, because they will never be able to survive it. So, for example, tetanus. We give the BCG vaccine, which is the vaccine that we give on the right shoulder, on the right upper arm.
The BCG vaccine is for tuberculosis.
It's a vaccine against tuberculosis.
Yes.
And this is a vaccine that creates a scar on the arm. Because if it has not created a scar, we need to repeat it. So most of the time you'll see when the mother takes back a child for the next vaccination, the health worker will check if that scar is there.
That is at birth, the child gets BCG.
So so at birth we also give the oral polio vaccine. It's given through the mouth. Drops of the polio vaccine are given through the mouth.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after that, do they come back for repeat doses, or is that it?
Oh yes, that's why they have to keep coming back. So at 1.5 months, which is at 6 weeks, these children come back to receive the second dose of the polio vaccine through the mouth, because this prevents polio. Right now in Uganda, we've not seen polio for a long time, but polio used to cripple children and actually can cripple your child if they do not get vaccinated.
It's a very disabling disease.
Disabling, and actually can kill the child, because it not only disables but paralyzes the child and can paralyze many body parts. So we give the second dose of the polio vaccine. Then we also give a first dose of that pentavalent vaccine, which is against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, hepatitis B, and Haemophilus influenza. So we give that injection, which is on the left thigh. Then we also give them the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, the vaccine against pneumonia. Then that is also it's given on the right thigh. And then we also give the rotavirus vaccine, which was introduced in June, through the mouth.
Through the mouth. Those are so many vaccines given at 1.5 months of the child.
Yeah.
So you're watching the DocTalk show. Please remember to send in your questions or comments on our social media platforms, and we'll be back after the break for more on immunization and further details about vaccines.
You are watching the DocTalk show.